What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. This one's gonna be a little bit different because not only is it my birthday today, but it's my diagnosis day. Unfortunately, 11 years ago today, I was sitting in a doctor's office getting diagnosed with cancer. And it's crazy to see how far I've come ever since then. And I'm so grateful to God to be able to sit in front of a camera here and be able to talk about my journey. So I just kind of want to reflect on my journey a little bit and let everybody hear what I've been through. So on my 11th birthday, as I said, I was in a hospital and they had told me that I have osteosarcoma bone cancer, which is horrendous to hear on your 11th birthday. But then again, at 11 years old, I had everything going for me. I was playing football. I was at the age where I just was feeling good, living my life, right? Like, had friends, playing sports, doing everything I wanted to do. And in 1 second, that all got taken away and the journey began. So from there, I ended up going back and forth between different hospitals. We had second opinions, all that, but the final diagnosis was on my birthday. And then it led to starting immediate treatment. Because with the type of cancer I had, osteosarcoma, it's a very aggressive cancer and you have to treat it accordingly, which means treating it very aggressively. Multiple different types of chemo, in and out of the hospital. I believe it was like a couple days in and then a couple days out for me. It's so long ago, it's hard to remember, but I just remember being in the hospital a lot. Lots of leg surgery. So my initial surgery was months after the fact, but chemo basically started for me, I think it was 2 or 3 days after my diagnosis. I had my first chemo treatment. I had a surgery pretty much the day after I got diagnosed to put in a portacath, which is where it's like a little tube that runs into your main artery, and that's where they put the chemo treatment in, so that way they don't have to do it in your veins and everything. And at 11 years old, I mean, this is the scariest thing ever, but thankfully I had a very supportive family, and there's always God obviously watching over me, so it made everything a little bit easier. Thankfully I didn't have to go through this by myself, obviously. And I mean, I'm just so thankful for my family because of everything they've done for me. Sitting in the hospital with me, my mom basically had to quit her job just so she could watch over me. My dad had to cut back on his job just so he could come and help me out, give my mom a break from time to time. Because I'm not gonna lie, I was a lot to handle. So once the treatment started, it was constant throwing up. You know, it's a lot of anxiety because it's so new. So just getting used to not being home all the time was probably the hardest part. I'm a introvert at heart, so I just love being home. I love being to myself. So when there's people coming in and out of your room, asking you how you're feeling, taking your blood pressure, taking, you know, all your vitals, and then stabbing you with needles to check your blood, you got, you know, stuff all over you connected to you while you're laying in the hospital. You can't sleep because there's people constantly coming in. It is terrible. And that's why I think I started this whole influencer journey of mine, is because I want to help others, whether they're kids or adults. I want them to watch these videos and realize that there is something better on the other side and you can thrive from this. But it's the whole point of having that positive mindset. But anyway, after going through that treatment and everything, I believe it was one or two surgeries during my treatment. So my treatment was about a year long. And then after that, it was multiple surgeries on my legs. My cancer, the tumor, which was cancerous, was in my right ankles where they found it. And the reason they found it was because I got stepped on playing football and went in for a sprained ankle. So I'm very thankful I went in because, like I said, this cancer is very aggressive. So it acts very fast. It spreads very fast. It being bone, I mean, as soon as it hits the bloodstream, it's everywhere. And so that's why I'm very thankful. I do believe that God had that other kid step on my leg so I could find it early. And that's what basically let me live, because the longer it goes on, the chances of survival continue to drop. So the treatment plan was pretty much great. I can't say anything bad about it because I'm still here in front of you today. The doctors I had were amazing. The surgeon I had and the orthopedic oncologist was incredible. They are just great people sent from God, and they've cured so many young kids, or just, you know, people in general, adults, from this deadly disease. So they were great. Nurses, oh my gosh, thank you. They made my days so much easier. You know, some of them were not as easy to deal with, but most of them were actually great. Anyway, a lot of surgeries ever since then, which led to where I am. I started physical therapy pretty much right after my first surgery when I was still 11 years old, and continued that on until I was probably around 15-ish years old. I had my most recent surgery when I was 18 or 19. Today I'm 22. When I was 18 or 19, and then from there, I've kind of just started my entire bodybuilding journey, you know, recovering myself. I went through so much physical therapy that my surgeon basically said, do it on your own. I was already certified as a personal trainer, so I kind of knew what to do. And the journey for becoming an influencer started after my fitness journey began. So when I first started my journey in influencing, I really didn't like the fact of sharing my story of cancer, because that's something I really wanted to like hold to myself. But I realized that like I have a gift to be able to talk about this, and God gave me this gift, so why would I not talk about this, right? And from there, I think everything just started to open up with myself, and I realized how much I can help others. And I think that feeling just continued, where I wanted to help others, you know, get to their goals. And, you know, that's where personal training came into play. I know what I had to go through. I want others to go, you know, to reach their goals, whether that be in fitness, whether that be winning their battles and thriving afterwards, whatever it may be. I love to see others win just as I did myself, because in my books, I definitely am a winner. And there's been a lot of failure, but then again, you need to fail to be able to win. I really appreciate everybody who supported me along this journey, just to reflect. And that's why I wanted to do this video outside in God's great nature. We have a beautiful world that we live in. Obviously, you need to look at it in that way, because the world's going through a lot right now. But if you look at it from the standpoint of how beautiful it is and how much we were given from God, and that's the one thing that I always had to keep my faith through this journey, because I believe that that is the only reason I got through all of the prayers that people sent to me. And I know of multiple people who are still praying for me to this day, praying for that young kid who was battling cancer. And gosh, am I so grateful. And I pray for those people too. I don't even know them, but I say, God, please bless those people who've been praying for me. And I really appreciate all the support. I could go into a lot more detail, a lot more gruesome detail, right? But we're going to leave it at that. Once again, thank you for all the support. If I can inspire just one person from this video, or the multiple videos that I post on other social media accounts, then it's all worth it to me. I don't care about, you know, helping millions. I would love to. That'd be great. That's the plan with this. But if I can just help one person to change their life and to realize that they can thrive when they have absolutely nothing, then that's what this is all for. So once again, stay tuned for more videos coming soon. I appreciate everybody. Don't worry, you don't have to wish me happy birthday, but just, you know, say a prayer for me, say a prayer for my family, and say a prayer for yourself and your family as well, because those are the people who are going to stand by you in the toughest moments of your life. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit short, no workouts today, but we're just going to keep it at that, and I'll see you in the next one.